What if the peer review process was painless? With eNeuro's creative, constructive approach to peer review, authors receive the critical guidance they need to get their papers published.
A lot of the times when you receive a review back and you get conflicting opinions from the two different reviewers, and I mean, it happens with the grant process as well, and you're not exactly sure what are the major highlights. Like, is point number 5 by reviewer 2 the big critical thing that really made them reduce their enthusiasm for your paper, or was it point number 1?
As both an editor and a reviewer and an author, I appreciate getting a clear, concise list of what the reviewers want in order to get the paper published. There's no reading of the tea leaves, there's no reading between the lines. We try to make it clear and direct as possible. And that, I think, is a real benefit for the authors when they're trying to evaluate should they move the paper forward in the process.
My favorite part of eNeuro is the synthesis, the consultation session. Once both reviews are in, and usually we have 2 reviewers, once the second one comes in, they immediately get a note from me asking them to look at each other's reviews and find areas of similarity and dissimilarity, agreement, disagreement, and try to figure out what's important.
For example, if someone deems a certain problem as major and the other reviewer thinks it's minor, they can discuss it and agree. And usually you see a very nice convergence, and the role of the reviewing editor is to come up with a synthesis that summarizes all the reviewers' perspectives once they agree. And this is what the author is receiving. They get one letter that summarizes all the input.
So having the synthesis, I thought, was a very nice way of really highlighting the critical pros and cons of the paper that could then give the author some more clear guidance on how to revise the paper.
The overriding goal of eNeuro is to change the way that these papers are published, that the process would be a positive one rather than trying to just reject papers out of hand. The second reason is the review process. It was very clear as a writer of the paper that the editor and the reviewers were interested in the paper getting published. So there were some problems with the paper that we needed to address, but they were helping us to fix those things rather than taking the somewhat passive approach that we often see. This was no form letter explaining that it was a rejection. This was a very well thought out synthesis telling us point by point the types of things that we had to do to get it published.
eNeuro, a painless approach to peer review.